Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $2.13 trillion market cap, currently up 1.9% for the day. Looking at the top 10 here, Bitcoin sitting at 44,482, Ethereum sitting at 3,242, Tether is Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 422, XRP sitting at 89 cents, almost 90 cents. Up 6.4% in the past 24 hours. Look at this, 42.3% in a 7-day period, which is massive. Cardano sitting at $1.20, Solana sitting at 114, DOT sitting at $22, and Terra sitting at $57. And as you can see, there's a lot of green in the market today. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, look at this. We're sitting in that neutral range still. We're at 54. This is massive. We haven't seen this range and this number in forever. It almost seems like we've been in the fear and extreme fear range for a while now. So we're seeing a lot of positivity and optimism within the market, which is huge. Speaking of positivity, this is from Politico, and they say in 2021 the SEC went after crypto. In 2022, crypto is coming for the SEC. So that's, I mean, this is motivating right here. So we've been talking a lot about what's going on with the Ripple versus SEC case, and you know, the SEC kind of overstepping and overreaching when it comes to our space and the crypto space, and how now you have other parties coming after the SEC. So you have like Johnny Deaton in a class action lawsuit. He's also started gathering international investors in XRP and Ripple to kind of get their voices heard. So they're coming at him with Freedom of Information Act requests, and you have Empower Oversight coming after the SEC as well. Pursuing the same thing when it comes to the Freedom of Information Act request stuff. So there's so much that we're banding together as a community to come after the SEC because of their wrongdoings, okay? With us being investors, especially in XRP, Ripple, and just in the crypto market in general, we have the truth on our side. So the SEC and you know, their intentions, clearly they're not there to, you know, protect the so-called investors are set out to protect. So we have to find a way to protect ourselves. So I'm glad we have, you know, these companies and these groups and these people within our community that are really stepping up, fighting the good fight. So I wanted to start with that. I wanted to also start with this from Mr. Intuitive, calling out Gary Gensler. So let's take a listen in.
Gary, are you there? Who cares? Gary, you might have thought you shook us, but we just took a hiatus. You got the Fed, you got the Treasury, you got the White House coming for your territory. It's pretty disrespectful. But we're here, Gary. You're gonna hear us. To my army, stand strong. Stay true to yourself. Remember that patience that you've had. And never ever forget the narrative.
So, I mean, that's huge. This guy's been calling out Gary Gensler from the SEC for some time now. So I just wanted to start with that positivity because, you know, it's 2022. Crypto's coming for the SEC, okay? We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of law. So we're going to fight the good fight. I wanted to also cover this. JV had put up a great tweet right here. He says, what's so hard about saying this? Why must Gary Gensler make this such a complicated matter? Bitcoin is a commodity. So let's take a listen into this video here.
Last question. Bitcoin smells like a commodity. It looks like a commodity. It tastes like a commodity. Is Bitcoin a commodity?
Per a Eastern District of New York Federal District Court ruling in 2018, it is a commodity.
Thank you. I yield back.
So we're going to take a listen into the second one he has here. Let's take a listen in.
Would you characterize cryptocurrency as a commodity, a currency, or a security, and why?
Senator, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of digital assets and cryptocurrencies, so I wouldn't want to identify them collectively. There are certainly a large number of coins that are commodities, including two of the biggest, which are Bitcoin and Ether. But given the vast number, there's no doubt in my mind there are also security coins. This is a big issue, and one that I think we collectively should work on as we think about a regulatory environment, if at all, is to draw very clear, distinct rules of the road of what might constitute a commodity versus what might constitute a security.
Yeah, you think? So JV says, so Ethereum and Bitcoin are both commodities, huh? Okay, glad someone over a regulatory agency can answer that. So he's kind of calling out Gary Gensler and the SEC because I don't know if you guys remember that interview that Gary Gensler had when they asked, I mean, there's been several interviews, but he's been asked, you know, whether Ethereum status as security-wise, is it a security or is it not? And he, you know, does this whole roundabout answer of like, well, I'm not going to answer to, you know, one particular digital asset, yada, 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 just kind of blows smoke in the air for, you know, all the viewers that were there viewing the interview. So it's it's just like, how can't you simply answer the question? Yeah, the SEC has been known to, push, crypto companies and people looking to start it to invest in digital assets. They started pushing to William Hinman's Ethereum Free Pass speech as guidance, but like all of a sudden you can't answer the questions. Okay, if you're pushing them to the SEC's website where they had William Hinman's speech on it as a reference of in guidance when it comes to digital assets and security status, on there, Bitcoin and Ethereum had the free pass. They weren't security. So like, why can't you answer whether Ethereum is a security or not till this day? It's kind of crazy. Like I always say, the shenanigans that we do when it comes to Gary Gensler and the SEC, just like the unknown. And he's talking about, we need to set up a clear framework, a clear and concise framework that everyone can kind of work with to kind of, show and set a standard of, what's a security and what isn't a security. We absolutely need that. So continuing on here, Digital Asset Investor had commented, he said, why doesn't Congress put the CFTC head and Gary Gensler side by side and ask if Bitcoin and Ethereum are securities? The CFTC seems to think Ethereum is a commodity, but the SEC won't say. Absolutely. I mean, why? What's up with the secrecy? Why can't you answer the question? It goes back to what I was just talking about, the William Hinman Ethereum Free Pass speech. It's like, what's the secret for it? I mean, it's already been stated. You've already been pushing people towards that speech. Why can't you just answer the question? You're there to so-called protect the investors, right? Why can't you let them know whether it's a security or not? Is it quite unclear within the SEC? Then what are we dealing with this whole Ripple versus SEC stuff then? Why has it been this big old narrative and agenda to give, Ethereum that free pass and slam the door on the rest of the other digital assets out there? This is crazy. I wanted to come over here. Santiago Velez has said, amazing how something ETH sold as an unregistered security pre-network inception is now considered a commodity under the CFTC, even though the criteria for decentralization as an exception to the Howey test, Hinman speech, has been disavowed in a court of law by the SEC Gov. So this is this is hilarious. He also says, Bitcoin maximalist, ... This is getting good. So, quite honestly, it's regardless of how we feel, obviously we have the truth on our side. We have that video evidence, the audio evidence, them in their own words. It's all surfacing. So it's just a matter of time until, this smoke is clear and we get the regulatory clarity we need in the space, especially when it comes to, SEC versus Ripple and XRP's status, whether it's a security or not, and kind of moving forward. So hopefully, justice is served properly. And whenever we do get the regulatory clarity for the crypto space in general, that it's, done in a fair manner that doesn't, hinder the growth and innovation within the space. Absolutely massive. I wanted to cover, I wanted to throw this up before we get to some more deep stuff. So this is hilarious. This is from XRP Meme Guy. It says, SEC and ETH. It says, S for secret email correspondence. Everything through Hinman. And this is Gary Gensler says, we at the SEC are here to protect investors. Pay no attention to the stack of papers behind me. So yeah, this is how we feel. There's over 65,000, people within the class action lawsuit that want some information, that are looking for answers. And Gary Gensler and the SEC can't even give them a time of day. But, they're meeting with, other individuals that have nothing to do with kind of what's going on with this Ripple versus SEC case. Those investors, that's over 65,000 investors that you are set out to protect. You can't even give them the time of day to respond to their questions. You can't even answer whether Ethereum is a security or not. Get out of here. This is crazy that we're dealing with this stuff. Stefan Huber says, can't make it up. Bill Hinman advises only to offer tokens after the company already funded and built the network as Ripple, as an ICO where money is raised first and the infrastructure is built afterwards like Ethereum. Would only lead to headaches and trouble with the SEC. He says, clowns. So just like we covered with, is it this one here? Which one did I talk about? Commodities, even though criteria. Okay, yeah. So just like we covered earlier, he's referencing this article here. It says Director Hinman offered the token issuances should come after companies build out their infrastructure through traditional fundraising methods. If you create your network first and then offer a token, it could save you a headache down the road. It's like, okay, well, why is Ripple dealing with the current headache they're dealing with? Why did Jay Clayton drop the lawsuit on Ripple, which affected, the Ripple and XRP community days before Christmas in 2020? If that's the case, they've done it that way. I mean, it's crazy that that's what we're dealing with. So I wanted to cover this from Tag XRP, and I want to thank him for putting this up. He says there's some more stuff coming out, but I thought this was pretty intriguing. So he says former Simpson Thatcher attorney Emma Channing, who works for Consensus and founded the Sadist Group, used to work alongside Bill Hinman while at Simpson Thatcher. Emma Channing structured the blockchain capital Ethereum token sale on April 10th, 2017, 1 month before Hinman. Coming down here, he continues, he says, 1 month before Hinman took his role of director at Corporate Finance at the SEC. Emma Channing was general counsel for the Argon Group at the time she structured the blockchain capital Ethereum token sale. He continues and says, guess who announces a partnership with the Sadist Group founded by Emma Channing in 2019? So he's referencing this article here. It says, Consensus announces partnership with the security token advisory firm Sadist Group. So Consensus, and then you have, Joseph Lubin. So continuing on, he says, Emma Channing gave a presentation alongside some very familiar names in May 2017. More to come. So I'm curious to see what else he's going to serve us out based on the research he's pulled in. But I mean, it's quite obvious. All this stuff is literally, it's like one tile, one domino fell, and now all of the rest of the tiles are falling. So it's just like one thing after another is surfacing, boom, 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 and the community is doing a great job of doing the research and bringing all this, these information and all these different documents and videos and resources to just add more strength and validity to the Ethereum Free Pass timeline, because how the digital asset investor and Johnny Deaton always talk about, we have the timeline. There's no hiding from it. So it's just a matter of time before more and more stuff gets surfaced. Obviously, they're still trying to suppress a lot that we may not ever see or hear about. But the point is, we keep applying that pressure, like Empower Oversight, Johnny Deaton, and the rest of the communities bring it to the SEC. That's what we need, because remember, 2022's crypto is coming for the SEC. Absolutely. So this is huge. I want to thank Tag XRP for putting that up here. And we're going to end here. I thought this was quite interesting. It says, Bitcoin maximalist. He says, just got done reading up on the XRPL. It's hard to refute its sheer speed. Although I'm a Bitcoin maxi at heart, I think I'll have to make some room for XRP. It is ridiculously fast and it's hard to ignore the cross-border payment use case. That is a huge statement right there. Being a Bitcoin maxi and just realizing the truth. I mean, we don't got to hate on one another. If the technology's solid, okay, put some respect on it. And that's just quite honestly how I feel. That is absolutely massive. Just know that, yes, when it comes to the Ripple versus SEC case and us XRP holders that's been accumulating for years, riding the waves up and down. I mean, just so much stuff we've been dealing with as XRP holders in the community. It's all going to pay off. I truly believe it. We are on the right side of the law, the right side of history, and we have the truth on our side. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.